The Commanders lose in another prime time overtime thriller of a game, and some would say this is the best game the Commanders have had all season long, and I just might agree with him. Y'all know what time it is. It's John. It's Monday night. It's our reactions here on the Burgundy Breakdown. Let's talk about it. I am back. We are back once again. I would sort of apologize. I'm going to apologize for my week 13 predictions episode a few days ago. I was exhausted. I was in a different habitat. I was on vacation. It was a bad time. That's why I'm alive and well lit. But we are now here on Monday night. This might come out Tuesday morning. Sitting at 3-9, coming off, and I'm going to agree with the people, like I said in the intro, the best game we have had all season long. Before we get into that, don't forget to like, hit share, and subscribe here on the Burgundy Breakdown. We're trying to grow this individual channel as a part of our own three, the Reedie&Zee podcast, or at Reedie&Zee, at One Guy Talking Sports, at Bond and Burgundy podcast. So subscribe to the Burgundy Breakdown. 164 subs right now, on the road to 250, on the road to 500. So hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all the social medias, links down in the description. But let's talk about the game. 27-26 overtime masterpiece of a game. You want to say I'm going to get into the ref issues. You can say this is arguably the best game of the season, arguably one of the best games of the past 2 seasons. I'm going to agree with you. Let's have fun with this. Like I said, we are now sitting at 3-9 after this loss. We're 2-4 at home. We were coming from behind a lot of this game, but we were also taking the lead by 1 or 2 points a lot of this game. Final score, 27-26 in overtime. We actually had a pretty good game, all things considered. Start on offense. This offensive line held up the defense. They held the Broncos to a 17.9% press rate, the lowest game the Broncos have had since they allowed 70 to the Dolphins back in 2023. We held them down. Josh Conley Jr. had that massive holding call, only allowed 1 pressure. Larry Tunsil only allowed 2 pressures. B-Dash allowed, I think, 0. It was a really, really, really good game from the offensive line. Holding and false start, all things considered. And causing a lot of pressure. So it was a very, very good game, all things considered. The offense looked pretty good throughout the game. Our best quarter, like outside the first quarter, we pretty much scored every single quarter. Marcus went 28 of 50, 294 yards, two touchdowns, 1 interception, which it was a bad pick, all things considered. It was a bad pick. You can say that lost us the game. I think there were other moments that we lost the game, but neither here nor there. The run game, he ran for 143 total yards. Marcus led 10 carries, 55 yards. C-Rod 11 for 41 and a touchdown. J-Mac 6 for 30. Bill 4 for 20. Debo just had a really bad, I think it was a pitch to the back, but it is what it is. The receiving core, boy, oh boy, did we miss TM17? I'm just back to my camera. Did we miss Terry McLaurin? All in all, Zach Ertz 10 for 106. Terry 7 for 96. Terry was efficient with the football when he would catch him, because I'll tell you in a second. Debo 5 for 64. Yankov had an appearance for 14 yards. Sean Bates 2 of 9. Treylon Burks 1 of 5. And the catch of the year, and I'll talk about that here in a second. J-Mac 2 for none, C-Rod no, and Jalen Lane got 1 target, but he had really good pass deflection by Riley Moss. We had a few fumbles. Marcus fumbled, Debo's fumbled, but then J-Mac and Bates recovered those. Boy, howdy did we miss Terry McLaurin. This offense, if it's not Jaden Daniels now, we missed Terry McLaurin. I don't know how we got this far without him. We sorely missed him because the whole receiving trios, the receiving room, the offense went so much better with him on the field. Now, he was getting clamped by Patrick Surtain. And I said this regardless. I said this during the game. What did we expect? Pat Surtain coming off a defensive player of the year, arguably one of, if not the best pound for pound corner in this league. Pat was on him a whole bunch of times. Terry got 3 of 8 targets for 30 yards while on Pat. But Pat also allowed that last overtime touchdown. So Terry would caught 3 balls for 30 yards and a touchdown on Pat Surtain. So 10 yards a pop. But I mean, 3 of 8. Straps. Surtain had not let up a touchdown up until that point since week 13 of last season. You want to talk about a shutdown corner? Pat Surtain is that. Were there possible holdings or DPIs? Maybe. That's more for Riley Moss to get called on. We needed Terry back. We got Terry back. I said he was going to be held under 60 yards or less. He went for a 96 on 7 catches. I am not mad at all. He looks healthy. He looks rejuvenated. He looks really good. I know it's because he was a Redskin beforehand, so he looks natural in these uniforms, but he looks great in that throwback 17, a la Doug Williams 17. He looks fantastic. And let's talk about one Treylon Burks. Catch of the year contender. On week 13, Sunday alone, we had 3 catch of the year contenders. You have Puka Nakua's one-hand snag as he's being locked up by Mike Jackson in the Rams game. Brock Bowers had a really, really, really nice left-handed end zone catch from Geno Smith. Geno doesn't throw a lot of good balls, and that was arguably a bad ball. Brock Bowers grabbed that thing, and then Treylon Burks, I believe also on Riley Moss. Look at this. He goes up one-handed, OBJ's that football, and even OBJ tweeted 13 for 13, what a snag. Something about a wide receiver in 1-3 making a one-handed catch just makes the world feel like a much better place. Wouldn't you all agree? Let me know down in the comments, what was your catch of the year? Was it the Puka Nacua catch? Was it the Treylon Burks catch? Or was it the Brock Bowers catch? Or if you have a different one, let me know down in the comments of this video. I would love to talk to this course with y'all. Let's go to defense. If we're being honest, it wasn't a great game for them. Louisville had the only sack on Bo Nix. We had 5 passes deflected, 3 or 4 QB hits. All in all, Denver went up and down, north and south of this game. We got them on a few punts. I'm not going to say it like we did. We held them to a few. We only held them to 4 punts, though. Bo Nix, 29 of 45, 321, 1-1. We held their rushing game. RJ Harvey, 13 for 35 and 2. Jaleel McLaughlin, 6 for 24. Bo Nix, 2 for 16. Marvin Mims, 1 for 9. And Adam Prentice, 1 for 3. So a total of 87 yards. We pretty much doubled their total output. We shut them down in the run game. But again, Bo Nix still passed for 321 yards. Evan Ingram, 6 for 79, including that 41-yard, I believe it was a 3rd or 4th down, just killer towards the 4th quarter, I believe. Cortland Sutton, 5 for 61 and a touchdown. Adam Trautman, 3 for 47. Pat Bryant, the rookie, 3 for 42. RJ Harvey, the rookie running back, 3 for 21. Tyler Badie, 3 for 18. Adam Prentice, 1 for 11. Marvin Mims, 2 for 8. Jaleel McLaughlin, 1 for 6. And Lone Jordan Humphrey, 0 for 0. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different receivers all catch a pass and all go above 5 yards. Let's be honest. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them had over 10 yards. 6 of them had over 20 yards. 4 of them had over 40 yards. 2 of them had over 60 yards. 1 of them almost had 80 yards. Our pass defense is not great. It's really not. And look, I love Mike Sanderson. I love Igbenogany. We got Will Harris back. He allowed up a few big plays. It's not a good pass defense. Hasn't been, isn't going to be, and I'll touch on the Dan Quinn quote later. Bo Nix still fumbled, but it is what it is. Held their defense, like I said earlier. A few TFLs, a few passes deflected, two sacks, one by Dontrell Tillman, one by Nick Bonito. Let's talk about Nick Bonito. Arguably one of the great edge rushers this year. He might only have roughly 10 sacks on the season, but he had that crucial pass deflection to end overtime to seal the win for the Broncos. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it properly. Offensive line failed Marcus on that last play. Marcus did not have the protection he needed. They came out with, I think, a 5-man, if not a 6-man blitz. J-Mac was open in the flats to his left. If he gets another second to recognize J-Mac's open, we get the touchdown. We win the game. Excuse me, on the 2-point conversion, excuse me. Nick Bonito got that pass deflection, won them the game. I'm not going to hate on the Broncos. You can say a lot of their wins are one-score games. Well, guess what? That just happened. We had a lot of one-score games last season. It is what it is. Nick Bonito is one of the great young edge rushers in this league. You get him a Robin to his Batman, good things are going to happen for Nick Bonito. I will give flowers to Bonito. It is what it is. Now, normally I would be out here scolding our team, ruining our team, bringing down the atmosphere. This is arguably the best game of the season. I'd give this a top 5 game in the Dan Quinn era. Why? A lot of the defensive calls are pretty good. Offense looked to roll once they could actually get a rhythm going. Finally saw a healthy Terry and Debo on the field, and they came out. Treylon Burks, like I said, catch of the year. Could we get the run game going? Yes, but Jaden's coming back soon. Marcus is doing all the things. He's holding this team together by duct tape, and I'm not even making an organ pump, the duct tape, Doug. I'm not even making it with duct tape and hopes. We could have easily gotten blown out of this game. We pretty much went pound for pound, blow for blow with them. I've never felt this positive from a loss in a while, and especially not this year. Arguably, this is, again, the best game we've had all season. But with that being said, the officials are horrible. When y'all got people like Skip Bayless and company saying that the refs are horrible, on that last drive, number 92 is getting pushed into the backfield. So you would think, and I'm not gonna play the video because I'm not trying to get copyrighted. He trips Mariota. And they went back on booth review and they saw he got tripped. It went down as a sack. Oh, that's on Trey Tillman. That's what I was talking about earlier. They labeled that a sack. So rather than a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down, it became, I think, 2nd and 25 for us. The false start on Terry McLaurin. There was another ref, like, horrible play calling. Now, we had a lot of plays go in our favor. I will say that much. But the fact that, just penalties aside, like, we each had 5 penalties. Us for 35, them for 33. Refs could not figure out what down it was, what time the play clock needed to be. Couldn't tell you what time it was. I do not want Land Clark and company as my referee crew ever again. I have said this week after week. Oh, the intentional grounding on Marcus was not intentional grounding. When the rules analyst in New York says that is not a intentional grounding, and New York keeps using booth review, it is not pass interference. It's not a sack. It's not intentional grounding. It's not a false start. I don't know what else we need. LASIK full-time refs. I don't know what we need. It needs to happen fast. But on the flip side, like I said, we're currently 3-9 on the year. We are somehow have like a 1% chance of making the playoffs. But what I'm worried about right now, and I will touch on this in the next episode of BIV Draft HQ coming up here in a bit, we currently hold the 6th overall pick in this upcoming draft class. Currently, we are tied with a bunch of teams at 3-9. A 25% winning percentage. Strength of schedule, we're 0.517. Games behind, we're 2 games behind from the first overall pick. It is what it is. 6th overall, that can get you a lot of prospects. That could get you Alvaro Reese. That could get you Caleb Downs. That could pretty much get you any wide receiver not named Jordan Tyson. Depending on his draft stock and injuries, you could get a Reuben Bain Jr. I would trade back and go get like a David Bailey out of Texas Tech. I'm a fan of his. I'd trade down in the later rounds or even trade up and go get a Jacob Rodriguez out of Texas Tech. If you guys haven't picked up on this, I'm a big Texas Tech defensive fan in Indiana. But currently the 6th overall draft pick going into the season. This will not improve a whole bunch. The only other game I see as possibly winning is next week's Minnesota game, whether it's JJ McCarthy or Max Brosner. We realistically could win that game. So we could be 4-13. We'll probably hover around 8, 9, 10 if we do win that game and we proceed to lose the rest. So this could change very well. But as of right now, as it stands, the 6th overall draft pick. Dan said earlier in the day at his press conference that there's a possibility of him staying as a team defensive coordinator next season. I would agree. I'm not saying Joe Witt isn't a smart man because you have to be a coach in this league to be smart and it's smart to be in this league. Overall, defense have played much, much better these past 2 weeks against Miami than against Denver, obviously, with both of those being losses. But there's more positivity around this defense with Dan Quinn at the helm than Joe Witt Jr. Do I think Joe Witt gets fired? Probably not. Well, I love it, absolutely. As a fan. As a man, I don't wish to take foot off the table. But if he doesn't, I wonder what's next. If Dan decides I want to take over play calling, you can't go back to Joe Witt because we see what happens when you do. So I don't know where this defense goes from here. Offensively, we're going to get Jaden back. Terry's relatively healthy. Debo's relatively healthy for once. We see what we're getting all the tight ends outside of Ben Sinnott involved. We're sort of getting the run game going. So there is positivity around this team despite a loss. And I know how rare that is for me to say because I should be killing our team right now. This was a very winnable game. Just crucial mistakes and some hoeing from the refs cost us the game. Overall, we kept up with one of the top teams in the league. Denver is now 10-2. They could have easily been 9-3, but it is what it is. So, again, 9-3. We lost in overtime. Let me know down in the comments how y'all felt about this game in its entirety. Again, one of our games of the year for me at least. I will talk more about this with Reedie&Zee and Juan on Wednesday. With that being said, I'm going to get us up out of here. Like I said, tell me in the comments what your thoughts were on the game, what your catch of the year is. Mine is still Treylon Burks, but Puka and Brock are going to have many more things to say. I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.